Namaskar. I am Dr. Aarti Chaudhary, Assistant Professor in the Department of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology at Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Banaras Hindu University. I welcome you once again in this 12-week course titled History of Science and Technology in Ancient India from Harappan Civilization to 7th century CE. Today we are going to discuss Module 8 and Lecture 5. The title of Module 5 is Healthcare and Surgery in Ancient India, and the title of Lecture 5 is Medicine in the Jain text. So, let us start. At first, the learning objective of this particular lecture. The first learning objective is to know the sources which gives information on medicine in Jain period. Second is to understand mental health described in the text, and the third one is to study physical health mentioned in the Jain literature. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the introduction of mental illness in Jainism, types and recovery from mental illness, physical illness, difference between mental and physical illness, recovery from physical illness. In ancient India, medicine in Jainism was closely tied to its spiritual and ethical principle emphasizing non-violence, ahimsa, self-discipline and karmic purity. Jain texts reveal a nuanced understanding of health and healing, where physical ailments were often attributed to imbalance in the humor of the result of past karmas. Treatments include a combination of dietary regulation, herbal remedies and therapeutic fasting, tapas, along with moral conduct and mental discipline. Mental illness were often linked to karmic cause of or possession by external being like yaksh, and were treated through spiritual means such as mantra, meditation and religious ritual. Jain contribution to medicine also include the classification of disease, ethical care of the sick and attention to hygiene. Although not primarily a medical system, Jainism offered a compassionate and holistic approach to health, integrity body, mind and soul in the path to liberation. Now, the archaeological sources on Jain medicine. Although Jainism does not directly contribute to elaborate medical architecture like Ayurveda, some archaeological evidence give indirect clues, like first one is Jain monastic site. This is from Shravanbelgola, Khandagiri, Udayagiri caves. The presence of water tank, meditation chamber and well ventilated monk cell indicate attention to physical and mental being. Cave inscription, Nasik and Ellora. Donor inscription, refreshing donation to monks for food, shelter and health. Manuscript and medical diagrams, ancient palm leaf manuscript from Jain library, Bhandar, contains illustration and reference to dietetics and karmic physiology. Terracotta figurine and relief panel depicting healing deities, ascetics in meditative posture indicating therapeutic spiritual healing concept. There are primary Jain scriptures and commentaries that include reference to disease, health, mental disorders and healing practices. That is, Sthanang Sutra discuss cause of disease linked to lifestyle, mention excessive sensual pleasure as cause of mental illness. Bhagavati Sutra distinguish between demon possession and karma based mental illness. Third one is Brihad Kalpa Bhasya, explain internal versus external origin of illness, karmic versus demonic. Next is Tattvartha Sutra with Digambar commentary, list emotions caused by deluding karma that lead to mental imbalance. Uttara Dhyan Sutra talk about self-restraint, lifestyle and austerity as health promoting practices. Acharanga Sutra describe code of conduct including hygiene and health discipline for monks. Niyam Sara by Kunda Kunda discuss internal purity and health through spiritual restraint. And post canonical Karin and Bhasya provide rule for treating mentally ill monks and detailed communal health responsibility. Now Jainism and health. Basically Jainism and health is divided into two parts. First one is physical health. And physical health is also divided in many subparts like right diet, ahimsa based. Second thing which is mentioned in the Jain text is non-violence in lifestyle. Third one is self restraint, that is basically brahmacharya, and finally is fasting and detox, which means tapas. These are the part of physical health which is mentioned in Jain text, and the second one is mental health. The mental health have also few categories like control over emotions, second avoiding sensual indulgence, third one is meditation, which is also called dhyan, and fourth one is freedom from attachment. Vairagya. So these are the basic feature which is mentioned in Jainism, that is divided into the healthcare is divided into two parts, physical healthcare and mental healthcare, and the balance of these two, physical health and the mental health, between these two is very important to keep ourselves healthy and happy. In Jainism, physical health is closely tied to ethical and disciplined living. Maintaining a right diet, especially one based on ahimsa, non-violence, promote not just physical well-being but also spiritual purity. This includes avoiding harm to even the smallest of living being and eating mindfully. Non-violence in lifestyle extend to daily habits, being gentle in action, speech and thought, which reduce stress and promote harmony. Help self-restraint including brahmacharya. Moderation in sexual conduct is seen as essential for conserving vital energy and maintaining body health. Practices like fasting and detoxification tapas help purity the body, improve digestion and bring discipline to one's habit. The physical discipline support mental health, which in Jain thought is achieved through inner control and spiritual practices. Controlling emotion like anger, pride, deceit and greed prevents mental disturbance and karmic accumulation. For instance, instead of reciting with Raj, one is encouraged to cultivate forgiveness, avoiding sensual indulgence such as excessive pleasure seeking in food or luxury protects the mind from restlessness and dependency. Meditation, dhyan, is a powerful tool in Jainism for calming the mind, increasing focus and attaining inner peace. Lastly, freedom from attachment, vairagya, letting go to material and emotional cleaning, brings about clarity, peace and lasting mental strength. For example, a monk who loses his belongings but remain unaffected demonstrates this ideal state of mental balance. Thus, in Jainism, both physical and mental health are deeply integrated and mutually reinforcing. Now, physical health and mental health. Body as a means of spiritual progress and mind as a reflection of illness caused by karma indulgence, mental illness linked to lifestyle karma. Ethical conduct, non-violence, right diet, emotional balance, spiritual practices, managing desire emotions. Vegetarianism, no root vegetables, no night meals and attachments. Fasting, self-restraint, hygiene, meditation, cultivating positive emotions. Introduction to mental illness in Jainism. Jain philosophy treats mental illness Unmad Rog with a complexity that intervenes metaphysics, ethic, medicine and spiritual discipline. Unlike physical disease, mental illness are often linked to karmic cause or possession by external entities like demons or spirit. This dual model, karmic and external, result in distinct treatment approaches ranging from ethical religious practices to psychological state resembling early forms of therapy. In Jainism, mental illness is elaborately described. Even in 21st century, we are not much more careful about our mental health. We are just careful about our physical health, our outlook. But in Jainism, the mental health is very important to keep our body and mind healthy and to keep our body and mind progressive. So, this mental illness is elaborately discussed in Jain text. The Sthanang Sutra link illness to lifestyle habit with Abhaya Devasuri interpreting excessive sensual indulgence, Indriya Vikopan, especially sexual excess, karmic vikar as a key cause of mental illness. He outlines a gradual decline beginning with emotional attachment and ending in death. From affection to pensiveness, recollection, admiration, raving, mental illness, physical illness, apathy and finally death. This sequence highlight how unrestrained emotions can lead to serious mental and physical deterioration. The Bhagavati Sutra, the explanation about the Bhagavati Sutra in terms to understand the mental health, the importance of mental health, how much it is important to keep body and mind protected from the different kind of disease. The Bhagavati Sutra, a key Jain canonical text, identify two primary cause of mental illness: possession by a supernatural being, Yaksha Avesa, and the rise of indulging karma, Mohaniya karma. This distinction reflects two fundamentally different sources of affliction, external and internal. Possession by a demon is considered an externally imposed condition where a foreign entity enters the body and disturbs the mind. In contrast, mental illness caused by deluding Karma originates with the individual emerging from karmic impurities linked to moral and emotional weakness. The text notes that possession related disorders are generally easier to overcome, while karmic mental illness are deeper and more resistant to treatment, emphasizing the complex interplay between spiritual, psychological and ethical dimensions in Jain thought. Now next is Brihatkalpa Bhasya. A significant Jain commentary text draw a clear distinction between two forms of mental illness based on their origin. It explained that possession by yaksha is caused by an external force entering the body, making the affliction foreign and invasive. In contrast, illness caused by deluding karma, mohaniya karma, are internal, arising from the accumulation of inauspicious karmic matter within the individual. The differentiation is not only metaphysical but also medical and ethical. Externally caused condition may be addressed with ritual or esoteric treatment, while karma based disorders require deep spiritual purification. The text thus highlight the dual nature of mental disturbance in Jainism, some imposed from without, others emerging from within, and underscore their differing implication for treatment and prognosis. The Digambar commentary on the Tattvarth Sutra outline a set of emotions that are considered indicators of mental imbalance, all of which are caused by conduct deluding karma. These emotions include laughter, hasya, pleasure, rati, displeasure, arati, sorrow, sok, fear, bhasya, bhay, disgust, jugupsa and sexual feeling, stripam, napumsaka, ved. Rather than being seen as ordinary emotional state, they are viewed as karmically driven disturbance that could right conduct and hinder spiritual development. This perspective reflects the Jain emphasis on inner discipline and the karmic consequences of emotional reactivity. Now the types of mental illness found in the Jain text: yaksha induced, external possession, graha. Symptom is violence, abnormal behavior. Treatment, mantra, religious ritual, and prognosis, curable with spiritual intervention. Second is karmically induced, deluding karma, mohaniya, imbalance, distorted perception. Treatment is asceticism, karmic purification, and prognosis, long term karmic treatment. Emotionally triggered, excessive emotions, fear, love, arrogance. Symptom is progressive cognitive and behavioral decline, gentle emotional counter strategy or shock therapy, and the prognosis is variable, potentially dangerous. Recovery from mental illness. Spiritual practice. Recovery is supported through religious devotion, including meditation, dhyan, prayer and chanting mantras to calm the mind and purify karma. Moral discipline. Adhering to ethical vow such as non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness and celibacy helps stabilize emotion and prevent further karmic entanglement. Contracting emotion. Mentioned disturbance are addressed by cultivating opposite emotions such as humility to overcome arrogance or reassurance of reduce fear. Community support. Monastic or lay communities may assist mentally ill individuals through supervision, care and ensuring adherence to spiritual guidance. Finally is karmic purification. True healing comes through the weakening and destruction of deluding karma achieved via ascetic practice and right conduct. So, in Jainism, to overcome the particular mental illness, the karmic, the purification of the karma, the chant of the mantra and the daily lifestyle with the very purity and with the style of brahmacharya is very important to just overcome with the disease of mental illness. Jainism on physical health. Definition and description. In Jainism, physical health is closely linked to spiritual well-being. The body is considered a valuable vehicle for the soul's liberation, and maintaining its health is essential for practicing self-discipline, meditation and other spiritual duties. Jain philosophy emphasizes non-violence, ahimsa, self-restraint, samyam and purity, not only in action but also in diet and lifestyle, all of which contribute to physical well-being. Jain believe that physical illness can be result of past karma, especially papa karma, improper lifestyle choice and indulgence in sensory pleasure. Therefore, a healthy body is achieved not merely through physical practice but through ethical living, karmic purification and dietary control. Practice such as fasting, upavas, consuming sattvic, pure and non-violent food and avoiding night meals are encouraged to maintain bodily purity and vitality. Now, the Jainism and physical health aspect. What is the aspect given in Jainism text and the physical health? Purpose of the body. A mean for spiritual progress and self-realization. Cause of illness, karma, indulgence, violence and improper lifestyle. Prevention of illness, ethical conduct, non-violence, right diet, regular fasting. Dietary guidelines, vegetarianism, no root vegetables, no night meal, pure and non-violence food. Health practices, fasting, self-restraint, meditation, hygiene, discipline. Healing approach, karmic purification, prayer, self-discipline and spiritual support. Overall philosophy, health as a reflection of ethical living and karmic balance. So, just like the Buddhism, here in the Jainism, the concept of Jainism, the purity of opinion, the purity of the mind is very important to keep ourselves very healthy and happy. Now, recovery from physical health. Balanced and ahimsa based diet. Consuming pure, non-violent and easily digestible vegetarian food promote bodily health and reduce karmic burden. Fasting and detoxification, tapas, practice like fasting, limited eating and internal cleaning help eliminate bodily impurities and strengthen self-control. Self-restraint and discipline, observing moderation in daily activities, sleep and consumption, preserve energy and promote physical well-being. Hygiene and purity, emphasis on cleanliness, use of filtered water and avoidance of harmful environments ensure prevention of disease. Karmic awareness, recognizing the karmic root of disease leads individual to adopt non-violent ethical living, which in turn supports physical healing. Now, on the basis of this whole explanation, we can say Jain medicine reflects a profound synthesis of spirituality, ethics and health, rooted in the principle of ahimsa, non-violence, brahmacharya, celibacy, self-restraint and tapas, austerity. Jain views on healing extend beyond physical treatment to the purification of the soul. Illness, both mental and physical, is understood not only as a biological imbalance but also as a karmic consequences of one's action and desire. Treatment emphasizes self-discipline, dietary regulation, meditation and spiritual practice rather than invasive interventions. Furthermore, mental health was closely tied to ethical conduct and emotional control, with certain disease attributed to karmic afflictions or demonic possession. In essence, Jain medicine presents a holistic and moral approach to wellness where true healing is achieved through right knowledge, right faith and right conduct, ultimately leading toward liberation, moksha. So, on the basis of these explanation, we can say the Jain literature is basically focused on the purity of mind, and that is the basic characteristics of Jain medicine. The purity of mind and the purity of health. Not only the physical health, the take care of our body, outer body part is important, as well as the purity of thought, the purity of mindset is also very important in terms to keep ourselves healthy. So, if you want to enhance your knowledge regarding this particular topic, you can consult these references on this slide. It is mentioned. Thank you for your patient listening. Namaskar.